finished building the mid-size, midi scale Millennium Falcon. A great set, 921 pieces, set 75375, and you get the cool stand that it goes on, and the printed plate to describe the set itself. And it's kind of cool. You can do a little fly-in factor, zoom in, and see how great this set looks. I attached the other printed plate on here, the 25 years of Lego Star Wars. So I highly recommend this set, and it's about, well, yeah, 1/3 the size of a play scale Millennium Falcon. The idea was, one, to build up momentum for what to do next after, or not after, but what to do soon in the near future as I see Lego sets retiring. Is that UCS Millennium Falcon retiring and building up one of my favorite Star Wars Lego sets? Probably my most favorite Lego Star Wars sets are the Millennium Falcon, plural, Millennium Falcons. And so the midi scale Falcon now in the display of honorable sets just completed. The castle and the midi-size or mid-size scale Falcon. Welcome, little Lego. Yep, you had to start a little bit later, but not 6:15. Got here before that. All right. Well, what to build next? We'll see who else comes online. We got the live stream just started, so we'll see. I'm gonna read through some retired sets and see what else to talk about in terms of retired sets, because maybe the UCS set will appear on here. So I've gone to the Lego website and we'll see what's retiring. Little Lego says, I was gonna get the Tudor Corner this coming month, but my truck needs an oil change. Yes. What are the trade-offs? Well, you need to drive, so that makes sense, little Lego. The Tudor Corner, we have that set, and that's one I would like to build up. I think that was our first set of the new year. I think that came out right around January 2025, so very cool. Hello, Mina. Psh. Alexander, psh. Good to see you. Thanks for joining the live stream. We got about 13 people watching. I'm gonna choose a new set to build. So little Lego brought up the Tudor Corner. I think I'm gonna stay with the Star Wars thing. You might be able to tell behind me what set I'm gonna build here in a minute. Thank you, Alexander. So the Star Wars momentum continues. I said in the description of this live stream, I don't really know if it's on display, but I said I, of course, do not have the UCS Death Star set. That doesn't come out until October 1st, which is, gosh, next week already, next Wednesday, about a week from now. And I did mention, and others have mentioned, the fact that that UCS set is really a collection of displays, diorama displays of different events in the Star Wars movie that took place on the Death Star, such as the Emperor's throne room, such as the control room or the power room where they go to find the prisoner bay and find Princess Leia, and other famous scenes. I want to say in that UCS set, there's probably a scene where Darth Vader and Obi-Wan begin their most famous lightsaber duel. Definitely not at the pace as later Star Wars iterations have been made. But in any case, that leads me to this. This scene is maybe altered a little different, but I had this set for a while and never knew when I would build it, just because so many other cool sets came up. But this one's been retired, but it's the trash compactor scene, which is also in that UCS Death Star set. So I can say I have a 1/10 of that set right here in my possession, and you even get some of the famous, or one of the famous scenes in the movie, and then of course the Lego versions of it. This set is very cool. When it came out, I got it for sale from Walmart. I think it comes with Oh, I was gonna say, doesn't it come with three CPO or not? But it looks like we've got four of the main characters here in their cool stormtrooper slash regular rebel uh, outfits, but not rebel outfits, but Han Solo and Luke in the stormtrooper outfits, of course, without the helmets on. So this is going to be very cool to build now that we have kind of a little more context as to what else is contained in that UCS set. So I can't say I would give into $1,000 or $999 plus tax, well over $1,000. But I can say I have a portion of right here. So why not build this? Excuse me. Little Lego says has to. Oh yeah, had to work on his truck, so he's got to give up some much hard-earned funds or saved funding to delay the purchase of the Tudor Corner. A very cool set. I have it, have not built it, but I just like the way well it was reviewed and love the theme of that set. Thank you, Alexander. Alexander, hello again. Little Lego. I have a live Thursday if I get back in time from being out of town. Yes, Alexander, I'm gonna build this right now. I'm gonna unbox it with you guys. So leave a like and we will get started here very soon. Coco New, welcome. Psh, welcome to the chat. So if you're a Lego fan, you like Lego, thanks for joining the chat. Thanks for saying hello. And leave a like for Lego. So here we go. A 10th of the UCS Star Destroyer set right here. And when I say a 10th, I don't know, maybe a 10th of it, the 10th of that whole set. But this is one of those diorama displays that were all released separately, which of course is represented in the Death Star. So why bother with $1,000? I didn't have to do that. This, I think, originally this went for $90 or so, but then Walmart had it on sale. I think I got it for about 20% off. So here it is waiting, and why not build it? Hey, Matt W. Yes. So set number 75339, 802 pieces. A bigger box than the Mini Falcon, but the Mini Falcon was 921 pieces. No minifigures. Very cool minifigures. All right. And oh yeah, one last thing about this set. Don't want to forget about it. So I'm gonna have in the background here for this entire stream series. I like to have the last set in the background. But I think those who have reviewed and built the UCS Death Star, have I been saying Star Destroyer the whole time? The UCS Death Star said that this can fit in the hangar bay, or that kind of bottom right corner of that set. So kind of, replaying the other scene where this is the tractor beam takes the Millennium Falcon in, captures it, and puts it inside the Death Star. So yeah. No giveaways. No giveaways. Little Lego says, what do you mean join? I don't have a panel for now, but yeah, anyone can come into the chat. Yeah, exactly. You can definitely join the chat. So what do you think, guys? To build this, and leave a like as we start this. Now, before I open the box, let's just see if some more people join the chat here in a bit. That way I don't have to repeat anything. But as I'm looking at here, what are sets that are retired that are interesting? Star Wars related, they're retiring the Darth Vader helmet. And I think the UCS Razor Crest. Yep, the UCS Razor Crest is on the list. So it'll be interesting the closer we get to Christmas, or probably even before that, the closer we get to Thanksgiving or what they call Black Friday, when all the sales go, is to whether any of these retiring sets are discounted, as they have done in the past. These prices get discounted. I always see it after the fact, which is, I don't know if it's just like a 1 hour block of time or some random time close to midnight, but I see these discounted prices on these sets that are retiring. I never notice it all the times I'm logging in, then all of a sudden you see the price has been discounted by like 20, 30, 40%, like a lot. And I never notice it until after everything's sold out. So I'm not really sure when Lego actually discounts the prices, or they just do a fire sale right at the last minute. I don't know. But one other set I'm actually interested in getting that it's not Star Wars, the Medieval Town Square. So the Medieval Town Square would definitely fit in well with this castle set right here, this 3-in-1 castle set, you know, because Bumblebee's got to be part next to it. But yeah, that's a $229 set right now. But if that gets discounted, that would be a quick, well, not a quick, it would still be pricey, but a fun buy to get at discount. So anyway, some topics, some themes, some sets to think of. Alexander, thank you for joining us. Matt W, thank you for joining us. Little Lego. And Stormy Cube is here as well. Just joined. So here we go, guys. Opening and unboxing a new set to share with you live in the live stream today. The last, I guess almost the 8 days of September. As we get closer and closer to it's a punch tab box again. So no tape. All right. This set has been waiting for several months to be opened. Here we go. Set number 75339, 802 pieces. Death Star Trash Compactor Diorama set. We got Leia, I think we got Chewbacca, we've got Han Solo, and Luke. Han Solo and Luke wearing the Stormtrooper armor. And then, of course, their headpiece and hair, because that's how they were. They were already you had to see who they were. So in the movie, their helmets are taken off. So just like that, copying the movie. All right. Little Lego talking about a panel. I guess I missed something there. So we'll see what you mean there. Hey, Ivan. Welcome, Ivan Royo. What's up, Brick Therapy? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, you guys. All right, so how many bags do we have in this trash compactor set? We've got several good size base plates. We've got the instruction book, and it's kind of nice to see plastic bags again. The midi size or mid-scale size Millennium Falcon. We were going to these paper bags. So sort of, they're kind of lined with like wax paper on the inside. So I don't know if making these and using this is any more environmentally sound than just plastic. And there's a lot of debate as to whether plastic waste is really an issue. But that's for some other topic, not Lego, man, because Lego's all about plastic. All right, this might be. Well, let's see. These bags there's not that many. There's a 1, 2, number 2 bags, 3, and 4. That's it. 4 bags. The Midi Falcon was 11 bags. Each bag had, in the Midi Falcon, just enough pieces to build like a panel section, like basically each panel here was its own bag, so it felt like that build went really fast. When I was building that, these bags are more like the substantial size. So we'll see if these bags go faster. But a nice, fresh bag of new Legos, you can't go wrong with that. All right, 7 likes. Let's go. See if we can get up to 20 likes by the end of the live stream. And if you like Lego, you're new to Lego, you're just checking out the chat, it's time to build a 10th percentage portion of the UCS Death Star, if you know what I mean by that. So here we go. A 10th portion of the UCS Death Star. I can proudly claim I now have part of that set unofficially. Alexander, happy birthday. Pepe the Frog, let's go. Giraffe, good to see you back here. Still thinking about buying the UCS Death Star, so this time I'm going to save up my money for the Lego UCS Death Star. Right on, Ivan. $999.99 plus tax. Now, if you are a Lego insider, hopefully you are, Ivan, you know, use some discounted money there, and hopefully you'll get it for a little bit less. And if you, well, I guess it depends since you're saving up your money. It doesn't sound like you're planning to buy it right away, but if you are, then you get that gift with purchase to go with it. The little mini size TIE fighter. Not, wow, it'd be so cool if it was that kind of TIE fighter right there, but it's not. It's a very much a shrunken version, almost a microfighter size build. All right, bag one of the trash compactor diorama. Wow, quite an involved instruction book here of scenes from the movie from episode 4. And it almost feels like you are opening a very exclusive set here, even though it's a lot smaller than the UCS set. So bag number 1 will be very much just building a platform, it looks like. But you know what? It's going to be pretty cool because maybe you'll see, I assume or think remember that this does have some mechanical features to it. So it'll have some Technic pieces to go along with the regular Lego pieces. All right, bag 1 open. The set is on official time now. And it looks like we used these 3 platform pieces were just in the box, unbagged. So I'm assuming, you know, overall, that's going to be the width or the dimension or the footprint of the set. So yeah, I guess if this is a 1/10 of the UCS Death Star set, then that is quite a lot of Lego going on there. And that's an interesting set to be sure. It's almost become the UCS Death Star set. It's almost become, it's gone from like hype to anticipation to, you know, leaked information to real information to disappointment to criticism to you know what, it's kind of a cool set to that's too expensive. Of course, it's not the price point and match to what people would expect for a set like that with that name, but it's a cool looking set. It's just it's got some I don't know, deficiencies or kind of limitations that seemed like if you're going to spend that much, it shouldn't have been. Like, for example, the minifigures and how they're designed with the lack of dual molding. But I have a lot of these pieces in this set, so this might be kind of, you know, not the most interesting or fun build. Although you know what, it kind of matches what I heard about that Death Star set. It's a lot of building the outer frame, but not that interesting. So we'll see how this one goes. But going right into the bottom or the base of this build, and I have several of these pieces. I always wonder how, you know, I don't know all the official names of these raised kind of 3-sided 2x4 studs, but these are all in the front. So I guess this will be kind of the connector to the sidewalls, or maybe even the mechanism to get this trash compactor set going, so that there is the actual function of the trash being compacted with the main characters of the movie, you know, crying out to C-3PO to turn it off and save them from annihilation. So yeah, very memorable scene in the movie. That's episode 4. Episode 4 and episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, probably the best versions of Star Wars. The Return of the Jedi, also fun, but man, those first 2, especially the opening scene to Star Wars itself. The Lion Knight's castle is retiring. The medieval town square is retiring. So those are 2 sets. Since having just built the 3-in-1 castle set, I think those are really, if you are into the castle series, those are really good sets. The 3-in-1 Creator pirate ship is retiring. That's been out for a while. Gosh, quite a lot of sets. Some have had more notoriety than others. The Viking Village, that's a decent set. If you're into the midi scale size ships, the Tantive 4 is going to retire, And oh, the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit, that's also retiring. I think that's only been out this year. The Invisible Hand ship is also retiring. The Ghost and Phantom and the Mos Espa Pod Race diorama. Lots of Star Wars related sets retiring. I'm looking I'm looking to see if it's official, if the UCS Death Star is on this list. They have the Boarding the Tantive 4, the Onyx Cinder, lots of other Star Wars sets retiring. Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator. Ooh, one of the Ninjago, the last Ninjago, or second to last Ninjago modular City Markets is retiring. So those of you that collect a certain series of sets might want to take notice. The Coruscant Gunship is also retiring. That one right there, that's a favorite of my son's, the maroon colored ship right there. So, man, a lot to keep track of here. And then some of the Marvel sets that just came out this year, I want to say, just for the year. Guardians of the Galaxy Milano, the Avengers Assemble Age of Ultron. Retiring several Lego City sets, and looks like we got one more page. Is the UCS Millennium Falcon on this list? It doesn't look to be. I thought that was one to be retiring. It's not here. I don't know if they update this retiring list or not. The way they, I don't know, the Lego website calls it last chance to buy. Lego sets retiring soon, but I do not see the UCS Millennium Falcon on there. So maybe there's a chance to get that set at some point. All right. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the chat, and good to see you here. Leave a like if you like Lego. All right, we're up to 9 likes. Okay, very cool. Looks like I'm just building up the platform right now. So I'll continue with that. And actually, let me double check. This is the hard part. When you have these, when you have dark gray and black sections being built together, at least for me, probably you younger guys, it's easier to see. But to see the actual line separation of these pieces is kind of hard. I know there's been times, actually just once, where I wore one of those one of those flashlight headbands. Something you use for caving or working outside with. I've used that every once in a while, although the light doesn't necessarily go where I want it to. So, but in any case, got it figured out here. When you connect all these big plate pieces together, it feels like you've made some serious and quick progress. But building the perimeter, the footprint, basically the base plate for the trash compactor set. So let me put the box up here, put it behind me. This is the set I'm working on, set 75339, 802 pieces. The trash compactor diorama. This is what I'm playfully calling the 10% version of the UCS Death Star set. So that'll be fun. Morgan says, hello, Morgan Jack, welcome. Psh, very cool, welcome, welcome. All right. So how long will it take? How many live streams will it take? I definitely could have finished the midi-sized Falcon a lot sooner, but at the same time, enjoying the builds as I go along here. So, and I want to make sure this time especially I don't make any mistakes. There were a couple times where I had to take apart and rebuild some of the last 2 sets, but so far it's just platform pieces, the large scale plates, so it should be going, everything should go together just fine here. All right. And the thing that actually I look forward to most about the UCS Death Star set is that other people will buy it, and not the people that got it for free and then reviewed it like the Lego ambassadors, but actual Lego fans, Star Wars fans who purchased the set on their own. Was the purchase just as important as, or just as fun and satisfying and then the build. What will people think of the build? Some of my favorite Lego reviewers I don't think will be buying it. Although if I have a chance to catch Mac Builds Bricks, he said he will buy this set on release day. So that'll be cool. At least we'll get one for sure Lego Builder fan YouTuber's impression of the Death Star, and no sponsorship, just, you know, good, honest Lego building going on here. So yeah, here we go. Welcome to the live stream as I build my 10% piece of the UCS Death Star. And I talk about the fact that Lego Star Wars sets, especially now over the last 2 months or so, since August 1st, the Lego Star Wars in general sets have been really expensive. All the new sets that have been released. Although we did get the Jango Fett Starship. They have a UCS version of it, but we got the Jango Fett Starship. My son and I got that at Target. Almost, I guess you'd say, on an early release, because that was scheduled for an August 1st release, but we saw it in July. A couple other of our Brick Therapy 2-3 community told us to check Target early in mid or maybe the 3rd week of July, and said that some of the new Star Wars sets were out and the rumors were true. So that was kind of fun to get that. I don't know if that will ever go on sale. Comparing it to the fact that they did also have a Boba Fett Starship released in 2020 or 2021. And I think that set was $20 cheaper. However, the Jango Fett Starship was still worth it and a fun build. And so kind of been on Star Wars themed builds lately, except for the castle, the 3-in-1 castle right here. So some cool sets here. Thank you for the likes, guys. Up to 9 likes. Leave a like if you are building Lego. Let's see. The mid-scale Millennium Falcon can also be parked in the Lego UCS Death Star 2025. Yeah, Ivan. Yeah, I mentioned that. So as I was talking about my 10% portion of the UCS Death Star, yes, this can fit in the hangar bay of that UCS set, which is really cool. I guess if you don't get the UCS Death Star, you know, within the first few days, you know, you miss out on that gift with purchase. This is a fun addition to that set. Although of course you don't, you know, if it's a play set for you, you probably don't want the Millennium Falcon like living there forever, captured inside the Death Star. But it is fun to set up all those scenes from the movie. I think the model building experience will be interesting to hear what other people say about it. Those who actually purchased the set. I'm just curious. Hearing that a set that size wasn't as interesting or fun a build as it should be, especially for that price range. So I don't know. I don't know if the designers who were put on that project were limited in several ways or what, but usually those guys do a good job of getting those designs down to what people actually want to see. But so be it. Hey, Bossy, I'm glad for the enthusiasm. Lego is awesome. Just keep the language family friendly, but high fives to liking Lego. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so here we go. We got this is my fun 10% version of the UCS Death Star. I'm just going to keep repeating that just in case anyone's new, because you know that new set's coming out October 1st. And this is one of the scenes, since it's basically a giant diorama set. This is one of the scenes in there. So, hey, I guess I didn't miss out on part of it in terms of the build. I'm sure their representation of it in the Death Star set is going to be a little bit different. Definitely probably the scale, I would assume, would be smaller than this diorama set. But if anything, if you're near a Lego store, especially, then I'm sure they're gonna have that set built up and on display in the Lego store entrance or front window. So that'll be worth seeing. We're fairly close to a couple Lego stores, and so that'll be fun to see it just built up there. See what people's reactions are seeing that set on display. Probably not seeing anybody buy it, but you never know. Almost be interesting to go to the Lego store on August 1st or October 1st, I mean, and see that set. See how well that set sells. We got a fairly good sized Lego store near us, bigger than the normal, usual set. So I wonder how well that thing will sell. But again, it might be one of those sets that like everyone complained about back in the day. It was new and released, and then wait, hold on, let me make sure I got this. Bossy Osha, no, I have not. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. See, my elbow's like way over here, so should be okay. That's why the table's at an angle, actually, so I don't do something like that. Thankfully, I have a soft floor below me, so there won't be too much breakage if that does happen. But this set is pretty solid. Again, if you're gonna collect Lego and you don't want to buy those giant sets because of space and because of the price, these mid-scale size ships are great. You can see the detail in the build just if I hold it up close here. And then we have one other mid-scale size ship, the Acclimator right here. And actually appreciate and like the smaller versions ships better. They just feel more solid, easy to display. They're still pretty, thick. A lot of pieces involved, but they make especially like the red in between here. It's a nice looking build. Really, the only thing you miss out on is the minifigure. But if you're mainly building up Legos for like model building and putting on display, it's great, and it doesn't cost you too much, doesn't break the bank, as they say. And now actually kind of considering getting another one of these. So if I was looking at the Lego website, if they're retiring a few of these, they're retiring the Tanteam 4 and the Invisible Hand mid-size scale ship. So if those go on sale, that might be a fun purchase as well. Hey, Brick Films, thank you. Just subscribed and liked. Now that I love. Thank you for joining the Brick Therapy channel and joining in our live stream. So usually, well, over the summer, my younger son here, call him Little Brick Therapy, and myself, we would build together. So over the summer, we live streamed our builds of Barad-dûr and Rivendell and the Shire. So we did the whole Lord of the Rings series. Those were some fun purchases. We had stacked up quite a bit of Lego Insider points. If you collect Lego and you purchase Lego on Lego.com, then you get Insider points, and it's a great incentive. Of course, you have to, spend money and buy Lego, but when you do that, you do get rewarded. And then the other sets you do buy, you have a sizable discount, especially when you buy Lego sets when they have something called double Insider points. And I think once, at least the last couple of years, it's like maybe once or twice a year, they do quadruple Insider points, 4 times the points, which would be, could be anywhere from $30 to a $50 discount towards your next Lego set. So definitely something to keep in mind. That's my strategy. Now that I have, I think, every scale size of the Millennium Falcon, I have, of course, the mid-size scale Falcon. I have here's the Falcon from the Solo movie right here, the the White Falcon. We have the Microfighter size one. We have the Dark Falcon. So I have to get the UCS Falcon. Plus, that's probably one of the most well-known and beloved Lego sets, or Lego Star Wars sets for sure. And it's been out for 7 years or so. Brick Film says, yes, I have Lego Insiders. Yeah, these are it's just a great incentive. And then you can, buy when they have double insider points, when they have a gift with purchase offered at the same time, and you can really rack up some basically extra Lego in one purchase. Hey, John Powell, welcome. Hey guys, which diorama are you building? So I'm building 75339, the trash compactor diorama. I think, John Powell, you might have mentioned you have these. So this is my 10% version of the UCS Death Star. Without having to buy it, I get a section, right? I get a section to build because this scene, of course, is in that set. If you look at the preview pictures or on Lego.com, the pictures of the set itself. So yes, Ranger, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you guys for the 14 likes. All right, hopefully looking towards getting 20 likes by the time I get through this portion of the live stream. So this is only this set has 802 pieces. It looks bigger. The box is bigger. It's going to be a fun looking set, especially including the minifigures in this set. But it's not as many pieces as the mid-scale Falcon here, and the box for this was a lot smaller. So go figure. This set is solid though. You can feel there's a lot of Lego pieces put in that to build up that set. Ivan says, Lego UCS Millennium Falcon, great set on my part. Yes, Ivan, that might be the goal. In terms of UCS sets, having never owned one, would enjoy very much to build the UCS Falcon. Another consideration is to just buy it used. Since it's not retired yet, you can get a pretty decent discounted price on it. I guess the only risk is if you buy it used, accounting for all those thousands of pieces, will you get what you paid for? So something to consider. But if I buy it through bricklink.com, I've seen it. The set originally goes for $850, but I've seen it for somewhere around $500 or $550. And, $300 less is a lot better. I don't necessarily have to have that set new. Opening a Lego set like that new out of the box is always a fun experience, but saving $300 is also great because then you can, that can definitely buy another significant size Lego set. Welcome, Jessica. High fives. Thank you for joining the chat. Rager says, oh, sorry for your loss, Jessica. I did not see that. Well, we are grateful that you definitely had a fondness for your dad, and praise God he's up in heaven, the best place. Ivan says, I have the Lego UCS Millennium Falcon and the Lego UCS Jabba's Sail Barge together. That one's new, right? The UCS Jabba's Sail Barge, that came out this year. Very cool. So Ivan, what was your experience building up the UCS Millennium Falcons? Because I'm very curious about that set. That set, definitely, I've had my eye on for quite some time. Pretty much any video that we put on our regular lives, or not live streams, our regular long form videos where we've gone to the Lego store, I always seek that set out to see if it's available at the Lego store. 95% of the time it is, or at least one of the boxes is there. And I've seen it built up on display once at the Lego store about a year ago or so, and it looked great. I love the minifigures that come with it. The build, although what is it, a 2017 set or 2018 set, the build looks amazing. And of course, the only intimidating part of it, really, well, the build would be intimidating, I think. But the other intimidating part of it is, what do you need to do to put that on display? Because that just can't sit on a bookshelf, right? It's a round set. It's a ship. So I know they sell, stands for it as well that kind of have it held at an angle like this, so that I guess it can fit in a bookshelf. And then, then you can put the minifigures in front of it. So there's just some fun things that go with the Lego collection journey / hobby that also require some extra space, time, and funding to figure out what to do with it. So if you guys have the UCS set or any UCS set, how do you display those? I assume once those are built, those are definitely sets you don't want to take apart. Jabba Sail Barge is one of my favorites, John Powell says. Very cool. I've seen that on display actually over the summer. And yeah, that is a recent UCS release, at least for this year. That Sarlacc set that also came out this year, if you guys didn't know, is being retired. So if you have that UCS set, that might be a fun companion set for it before that gets retired. And I'm wondering if that set will go on sale either at Lego or one of the other retailers. And I think Amazon has it at a discounted price. Probably about $10 to $12 discounted from what I remember. So in any case, if that set interests you, since you have that UCS set, that Sarlacc set is, I think, pretty cool looking as well. Plus the minifigures that come with it. You get a Lando Calrissian, so you can't go wrong with that. Lando, one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars trilogy, in Empire Strikes Back when he's introduced. The actors for those first trilogies were great. I don't know, they did so good with the dialogue in those movies. The second trilogy was a bit hard to listen to. Let's see. Somebody said Jabba Soul Barge is one of my favorite. Brick Film says, I have the Daily Bugle and the Winnie the Pooh and Statue of Liberty set. Very cool, Brick Films. Gotta go. Bye. Oh, Brick Films, we will see you later. Thank you, sir, for joining and subscribing. Love having you here. Rager says, I have the X-Men Mansion. These are great sets. Good collections, guys. I wish I had bought the UCS Falcon instead of the AT-AT. Rager says, yeah, that was a that was a bad choice. Well, the AT-AT, I mean, John Powell, you could still sell it. That price range was definitely nowhere near the UCS Millennium Falcon, although of course the price would definitely help a good sized chunk of the UCS Millennium Falcon build itself. But yeah, what was that, like $300 versus the Falcon, which is $850. So yeah, quite a difference there. All right, here we go. Here comes the tile pieces. Although they do have you sort of build a pattern here. So starting to build up the base of this set here, and we will see. Rager says, I have the Lego Optimus Prime. Oh, very cool. The Transformer sets. Those are fun. Here's a shout out to Lego Transformer sets. There's Bumblebee right there. That is not a fun set to transform though. It's a cool looking set. The car looks great, but I don't know. That is one set that you either leave it one way or the other because the pieces just fall off. Giraffe is back. Very cool. All right, Ivan, very cool. Ivan says, it was a good experience building the Lego UCS Millennium Falcon, and I used the building manual tray and just dumped all the Lego pieces to build it. Oh yeah, Ivan, I think you told me about that. If I get the set, that is the strategy for building that set. Matt is alive. Matt is alive, has arrived, digging the dive, striving to survive, drive to thrive, high five, subscribed and liked the live. Psh, sorry, Matt is alive. I don't know if you're still here, but just saw that, had to backtrack. I thought I saw you show up on the chat. So welcome if you're still here, and thank you again for always launching our live streams out in the proper fashion. Very cool. Jirafi's back. Ivan says, and for display, the Lego UCS Millennium Falcon, I have it on a strong wooden shelf. Do you have it on a stand like this, Ivan? Like, so where it's kind of at an angle so it can fit in the shelf, or you just have it like flat, kind of sitting on its own? I don't think that set comes with its own buildable stand, does it? Droppy says, trash compactor, are you building it right now? I am. It's might not be the most interesting part of the build, but I'm working on the base section here. And again, just calling this in a fun way, my 10% of the UCS Death Star. You don't have to buy the whole darn thing. You just got to buy the one section of it that you would enjoy building. And you know, what foresight on my part, right? To get this instead of the whole big $1,000 set. Yes, exactly, right? That's my foresight. Yes, so Droppy, that is what I'm building right here. And looking at what you guys say. John Powell says, oh yeah, you have to have the Sarlacc pit to go with it. I also have the pit from about 2012. Ah, okay, so that is another set that has an earlier version. That's the one thing about getting back into Lego after you know, not having it since I was a kid, but then getting back into it when my own kids loved Lego. And now they like Lego, but apparently they have other interests. Although we'll see. My younger son will help me build. Actually, he's building his own mock along with. Actually, both my sons are building a mock of a soccer stadium. So they definitely got their own creative plans at work, and will continue to add to the Lego collection as I want to, which of course would be the UCS Millennium Falcon. But yeah, that Sarlacc pit. I don't know if I'd get the UCS Java Barge set itself, but again, got to settle for what you can afford to get. And if it has to be just one UCS set, and now not the most expensive one, but pretty close, the Millennium Falcon one, I will be pretty happy about that. My second choice would actually be the Venator. Haven't seen too many people with that set. The build looks amazing. And seeing that set, seeing the Venator ship built up a couple times at the Lego store. I mean, those sets just are, when you see them built up and on display, you really can tell how much of a fun investment that is. You know, you're spending all that money on a Lego set, but the amount of Lego you get to build in one set is just so much fun. That's what we call our channel Brick Therapy, because building Lego is one of those great pastimes for kind of focusing your mind on other things and just enjoying. I like following the instructions versus trying to design my own things, so it's kind of fun. Kingdom Bricks, psh, welcome, very cool tag name, love that. John Powell says, my son lost interest in Lego when he was about 10 or 12 years old. That is the thing. We'll see though, they come back, right? If they're like us, John Powell, they'll come back. They're gonna appreciate our collection, I can tell you that. Ivan, right now I have the Lego UCS Millennium Falcon flat on the shelf, and sometimes I take it down to play with it. Whoa, that thing is huge. That thing is huge to have flat on the shelf. So it just sits on, does it have like stands like, keep asking you, Ivan, does it have kind of stand like pieces like this one, like on the White Falcon, these pieces right here? So it actually has more of a base to rest on, because that is the question I have. I think, you know, and to get a set like that, if you're going to invest that money, I think I would get a stand, because I want to have it on display, but I also want to have it in a way that it just looks good, or it doesn't take up space and it looks just kind of in a creative angle, so you can see, I guess, more of the ship that way. Hey, Alexandria, psh, awesome. One of my mods is here. Love it. Yeah, John Powell. So hopefully your son will get back into it. I mean, the way these sets are coming out now, especially with all these modular sets, they're just so interesting. I just think the builds are fun. There's so many different themes, whether it's related to popular movies or TV shows, or just long-standing themes like Lego Castle or Lego City or any of the Lego modulars. Of course, Lego Star Wars is everything. A series, a theme, a movie, a storyline. I don't know. It's just something that hopefully it must appeal to all ages. You know, when I've been at the Lego store or pretty much any retail store that sells Lego, I see a whole mixed age group of people looking at Legos with, genuine interest. Like you can tell they already have a few Lego sets. Some people it's just because of a couple different things they like, whether it's related to a TV show or some of the botanical garden sets. Definitely Technic, the Technic car builds. Those things are really kind of like the Fast and Furious or the Batmobile or any of the Formula One type car sets. There's a lot of interest in those for kind of that 20 something or 30 something age range. And then any age of kids. Star Wars definitely attracts all ages. Star Wars sets attract all ages because it's been out since the 1970s. So that's definitely bringing three generations together for the same interest in everything. Jirafi says the UCS Falcon is so much money, but so worth it. I hope one day I get it. Yes, Jirafi, it's true. Lego is definitely costly. John Powell says the UCS Razor Crest and the UCS Clone Gunship are both awesome sets as well. That one, both of those are retired now, aren't they, John Powell? But man, I would, gosh, you mentioned all those. They are fun to see on display. I've got to limit myself to at least or just one for now, and it's got to be the Millennium Falcon. I was thinking when I first heard about the UCS Death Star that would be something to change my mind on getting. You know what? If there's going to be a UCS Death Star, and I think that any of those Death Stars that have come out previously, whether it was the play set or I guess they had kind of another UCS or master builder version of the Death Star. It didn't come with any minifigures. I think it was just like the outer casing, and then of course the giant laser beam, radar dish, gun. I don't know what all the technical terms are, but that set came out, and I missed. I don't know. Those must have been all around the early or mid 2000s, or not mid 2000s, but the early 2000s and the 2010s era. Because by the time I got back into Lego with my son in 2017, 2018, I don't think any of them were available. Although I did say at the time it's not worth getting it's not worth getting Lego Star Wars at the time because it's too much of a theme, not too much to follow and keep up with. But once I saw this Han Solo movie, the White Falcon here, I was hooked. Then I'm like, okay, Lego Star Wars is pretty cool. That was a time also when they came out with Vader's Castle, which is another set I didn't think, well, I was considering at the time, but didn't get. And now I'm like, oh, that would have been a cool set to get. I don't think that actually came up in anything that I could tell, but yeah. Thank you, Alexandria, for modding. Love it, love it, love it. Hi. Oh, Star Wars Battlefield. Did I miss you? Sorry. Hello there, Star Wars Battlefield. Welcome, welcome. Jirafi says, would you recommend the Daily Bugle? Not necessarily, Jirafi. I have that set. It's a fun build, and it's a very cool looking skyscraper build. But if you're thinking of kind of a more creative looking build for that price, I'd probably opt for Bar-Door. It's maybe $100 more. Or maybe just the Avengers Tower. I mean, if you're gonna spend that much money on a large scale set, although if you really like Spider-Man, then it's worth it. If you like the Spider-Man theme altogether then. It's totally different. And so, yeah, that's good. Alexander, how did did you get your the Batmobile, the TV version Batmobile? Did you get that set and did you start building it yet? I think you might have mentioned that about a week ago. John Powell says, my son is about to turn 19 and a supervisor at UPS. I don't see him getting an interest in Lego. He's going to be delivering so many of them, or he's going to be facilitating the delivery of so many of them. But hey, kudos on the job and promotion. That's pretty cool too. My friend's dad collects UCS sets, Giraffe says. Oh, very cool. Maybe you can just partake and maybe he'll let you help build the sets that he has, perhaps. Rager says, it's kind of crazy when your favorite drummer is a cameo in is that Fast X, like Fast and Furious? That's pretty cool, Rager. Ivan says, I just know I love seeing you in the chat, Alexandria. That's awesome. Alexandria is the GOAT. Alexandria says, I'm on bag 7 of 17. Hey, Alexandria, very good. You're moving faster than I would on a set like that, because to me that's kind of on the scale of a UCS set. It definitely, because that involves Technic pieces too, right? Quite a few. I have to look that one up, but that set looks really good. Of course, the larger scale set of any of those themes, Lego does a really good job of those models, except for the Death Star. I don't know about that one. The one exception. John Powell says, yeah, I would take the Daily Bugle over Bardor. Oh, no way. I'd go the opposite on that one. But again, if you are a DC Spider-Man fan, then you for sure should go that route. Plus, the Daily Bugle is less expensive. Alexander says it's really big. The set, the Batmobile set is very big, actually. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's kind of on the scale of, maybe it's on the size of this Millennium Falcon here. So yeah, definitely that's going to look great as a display piece. Plus the color, it's kind of, let me look that up. I just want to see that for myself. The color on that set, kind of with an old TV look to it. It's more like some purple in it, I want to say. Let's see, am I wrong? Oh, red trim, black and red trim, old classic looking car. Yeah, that's a pretty decent price too, $150. That doesn't sound intimidating. That's gonna look really slick. That would be fun. All those sets that are with the black tile just look so good. Like the Captain Jack Sparrow ship, the Black Pearl. I think I would put that right next to Barador, actually. So that's kind of fun. All right, Ivan, thanks for giving me some insight on the UCS sets. Thanks for joining. Awesome. Alexander says it's not the size of the Millennium Falcon, but it's pretty big set. Very cool. Good night to Ivan. John Powell says, I don't like the Barador. Way too expensive for half a set. Interesting. I think it's a pretty good build. My son loved it. We actually compared it to which one we liked more, Rivendell or Barador. And I think the way this set came together, I think also because I think the Orthonc Tower, the one I couldn't get, that one looked really amazing too. I just like the black trim and everything. And then I think, of course, when you get the Sauron minifigure, there's a lot of reasons to like that set. But we have a disagreement or difference of opinion on that one. Rager, sorry to see you go, man. Just found out. Got to go. All right. See you, Rager. Thanks for joining. Thanks for all the likes. 17 likes. Just 3 more for 20 likes. 3 more. Will we get to 20 likes on the live stream? Hopefully so. And just enjoying sharing the build with you here. My 10% version of the UCS Death Star. That's what I'm going to call this trash compactor diorama set, because why not? and it wasn't $1,000. It wasn't even $100 if it's the 10% version. And it was a Walmart purchase at a discount. So I think I got it for, I said $60 earlier, but I think I got it for more like 75. Sometimes, or a lot of times I should say, Walmart has a lot of good discount prices. Nothing too crazy like they used to have in the pre-2020 era. You would see sets like 80% off or more, depending on what Walmart you shopped at. Because each Walmart, I think each Walmart manager can individually decide on how much they want to discount things. But man, this was before Lego sets were put behind security cabinets and cases. I guess it depends on where you live too, but that's unfortunate too to see. Lego sets have to be guarded like that, especially once the CMF, the collectible minifigures, all the bags were being torn into, and now Lego put them in boxes, and pretty much the same thing is happening, which is just a bummer. Okay, a lot of interesting pattern stuff here, which I don't know if you'll even see, since this is I think this is the base of the trash compactor set. But it kind of feels like when you build up any of those Ninjago city sets, a lot of tile and color to go on the bottom to give it a water effect, or like, you know, there's some depth, literally some depth to it. So of course that trash compactor set did have Luke get sucked under the surface there for a bit. I forget what that monster was called that lived in the trash compactor. So he did get taken down underwater. So I guess this is what these tiles might represent in that part of the scene. But I like this set. The build, even though these tiles seem kind of repetitive, kind of looks like Tetris. The pattern's fun. The Lego has it so, you know, you're not just building one monotonous piece after the other, but you have a pattern to build, which makes it look more interesting, and the build more interesting, even though you're putting singular clear tiles next to each other. And I like the minifigs. I'm wondering if these, since I don't know, I don't think I've seen these minifigures for this set anywhere else, meaning the Han Solo and Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper armor, but they are for this set. I think only the Death Star set would have, or has the similar minifigures. And I think there's like 3 different versions of Luke, and I don't know, maybe Han Solo too in that set. Like I know for sure I've seen that. Yeah, there's like 3 different versions of Luke in that set, but very cool. Okay, another row of pattern. It goes pretty fast, but yeah, enjoying this build. Ivan signed off. Alexandria says, I think the Lord of the Rings sets are amazing display pieces. I agree, Alexandria. Again, another hope or strategy is to get one of those retired Lord of the Rings sets like the Orthon Tower. I'm pretty sure Mac Builds Bricks has that one as well. He's really good at acquiring all those amazing sets. He's got a great setup there in his studio. Does anyone in chat play Magic the Gathering? Ooh, never heard of that. So Star Wars Battlefield. Star Wars Battlefield says, I need to get the Spider-Man figs. Yes, those CMFs have been released. The Ninjago Temple bounty ship looks amazing. I agree. Alexander, you're bringing up all the cool sets. My son saw that one. We have the original Destiny's Bounty from Ninjago, from the Ninjago movie. And then when we saw that new ship, is that what it's called? The Ninjago Temple Bounty. It might be the same. I'm assuming it's the same one. He was like, oh man, I think I kind of want this set. Although his list of top Lego sets to get probably changes quite often, especially since we built the Lord of the Rings set. course, you guys probably heard that there's a rumor of, for Lord of the Rings anyway, that the Minas Tirith might be a UCS or UCS size set coming out for Lord of the Rings, which would be very cool. And probably, if the $1,000 threshold seems okay to Lego fans, then I imagine that Minas Tirith set's going to be huge and expensive. But we'll see. We'll see how appealing that set could be, because that would make me just as excited with anticipation as when I heard about the Death Star. Only only to be disappointed by what the final look turned out to be. But who knows? We'll see. So 2026 will be interesting with new sets. And when I was looking here on the Lego website to see all the Star Wars sets that are being retiring, I'm assuming there's going to be quite a new list and variety and array of new Lego sets coming out, new Lego Star Wars sets coming out. I think I caught on someone's thumbnail, there's the Wolf Pack, but I don't remember if that's a clone, a version of the New Republic clones or what, but I saw a leaked picture of a Wolf Pack set coming out, so we'll see. But if the UCS set holds on strong for 2026 and still not retired, man, I might have all that much more time to contemplate and come up with a budget plan to eventually get that set, which would be a 2026 project for sure, which would mean I also have to hold off on buying any other sets. So much to consider when you're a Lego collector. This platform, kind of cool. You can tell it's got the Death Star kind of color scheme, a lot of black and dark gray pieces mixed in with some brown trim here, signifying that the trash compactor's got a variety of material and waste in it. And I love the snap new Lego pieces coming together. All right, now for some detail here. Almost looks like some robotic pieces or droid pieces. Or this might be kind of that material waste that Han Solo and Luke pick up to try and hold the trash compactor doors from closing in on them. We'll see here what this part of the build is. Right now, it almost looks like I'm building a droid foot with all these sloped and hooked pieces, but we'll see what this turns out to be. But got typical Star Wars looking something being put together here, and this goes right in the middle of the trash compactor set here. So there's that, and then one other small base piece to build up my 10% collection or 10% version of the UCS set here, being the trash compactor set. 800, what did I say? 802 pieces, just above the 800 mark. So not as much as the mid-scale Falcon here, but feels like even like a bigger set, maybe because of the box size and the bags, although there's only 4 bags to this build here. And I'm making some quick progress now as I wrap up, bag number 1 here. And I guess building up Death Star trash. Death Star waste. What else could you call it? I don't know if that gives it some interesting texture there. Turkey, welcome. Beans, hello. Psh, psh, good to see you guys. Welcome. Let's see. We've got Xtentation. Did I say that right? Welcome. Alabama, welcome. Turkey, welcome. Democracy Officer, welcome. Gosh, all kinds of cool YouTube names. And hopefully Lego fans. So just thanks for joining the chat. Leave a like. Oh, awesome, guys. We're at 20 likes. That was the hope. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you for the 20 likes here. Thanks for joining our Brick Therapy live stream. Building our 10%. So if you've heard me say this a few times already, my apologies. But building our 10% of the UCS Death Star. Can't shell out the $1,000, but you know, can shell out less than $100 to build up this set right here. Plus, when I get to Luke, Leia, and Han, and Chewbacca, that'll be fun. I want to say this set does come with. Does this set come with 3 CPO? I want to say there's a section of this set that's like in the back here where there's like a doorway or something that they actually are, I don't know, in a trap door or something. I guess I'll find out. We'll leave that as a fun surprise. Turkey, I get you, man. Sorry, you need to sleep. I have no idea what time zone all you guys are in. So if you're on the East Coast, you're 3 hours ahead of me. So it's 10:22 over there. And if you're in my time zone, it's okay. It's not so bad. It's only 7:20 here. All right. Got I don't know what these are. Just platforms. Oh, these might be, I don't know, levers or something that go later to the trash compactor set. But enjoying this build already. So this is where I'm at. This is bag 1. And did I skip something? I noticed hopefully, let's see. Oh, it's like a bigger piece just laying there. I'm like, there's no way that's an extra piece. And the surprise couldn't come at a more perfect moment. I thought this set, because this is how long I've had this set, I forgot that there are these guys, right? You get Han, Leia, Luke, and Chewbacca. And then, if you notice the back of the box, it does show you that the droids are there. And then as I turn the page on the instruction book, what first shows up? But these two guys come up next. How fun is that? I totally forgot that the 3CPO and the R2-D2 are in this set. So that'll be a perfect segue to the next live stream. So thanks everyone for joining. Hey Cole, glad that you're here. 2 hours ahead of you. Just finished up bag 1 of the trash compactor diorama. So this is where I'm at right now. Let's see. What is this? So what have I built up that's in the middle there? I guess just a place for Luke to kind of struggle. He's going to be sitting right there in the display and kind of holding the walls from crushing them here in a moment. So definitely a good representation of what's to come, and a fun representation of definitely a memorable scene in episode 4, of course, the first Star Wars movie to come out. So my 10% of the UCS Death Star is in my possession. I don't have to have the whole set. I got the diorama, so it's very cool. Cole says, one more bag. I know, Cole. Sorry, I've got some work to do, but thank you for joining the live stream. And Cole, I'll try to stream. Well, I'm going to stream tomorrow. I'll have to figure out if I can do about this same time tomorrow. It might have to be a little bit later. I'm not sure what time works for you guys, but thank you, Cole. Thank you, Turkey. Thank you for Alexandria. Thank you for the W's, guys. Thank you for joining, John Powell. And let's see, Rager was here, John Powell, Star Wars Battlefield, Ivan Arroyo, Giraffe was here. Awesome. Lots of great talk about Lego, starting out at the beginning with little Lego, and then Alexandria, the GOAT, my mod. Thank you guys. Have a great evening. I will see you soon.